All right, I'll look up to that to see you dance. But anyway, there's a lot to talk about on the show this morning. The show is definitely going to be very amazing. As I told you, we're going to go to Abuja at some point for FCT brief where we'll speak about oil. And then in Lagos, we're going to have a very intriguing interview where we talk about governance in Ekiti. And then Nelson will tell us what is happening all around the world with trending now. And we have a beautiful banter as well. So what I like to say is grab your cup of coffee and let's have a fantastic show. But we'll start with this one where senior oil workers in Nigeria have suspended their nationwide strike over the sack of more than 800 staff of Dangote Refinery. Now, the Petroleum and National Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, has warned that it would not resume the strike if the sack workers are not recalled. TVC News correspondent Joke Adisa reports more.
Respite has now come to the oil and gas sector after 2 days of government's intervention in the crisis between PENGASSAN and Dangote Group. The chief conciliator of the country and Minister of Labour and Employment, Mohammed Dengeyade, announced early Wednesday that the government had brokered peace. After the stalemate on Monday, the meeting shifted to the office of the National Security Advisor on Tuesday and ended in the early hours of Wednesday. The government says PENGASSAN agreed to start the process of calling off the strike, while Dangote begins the process of taking the disengaged staff to other companies within the Dangote groups with no pay loss. Hours after the meeting, the Oil Workers Union says it is not satisfied with the outcome, but respects and appreciates the intervention of the government and hopes the oil company keeps to each side of the bargain.
Even with our misgiving that the document did not clearly represent what we have asked for, that we will go ahead to suspend the industrial action that we started on Sunday, 28th day of September 2025.
But PENGASSAN warns it will resume the suspended strike without notice if Dangote Group fails to absorb the sacked workers.
Remember, we are suspending and we will be monitoring. We will be following closely any slip on the part of Dangote, any part of this agreement or any part of this communique as put up by the Ministry of Labour that is broken. We will not give any notice. We will not give any warning. We will resume the suspended industrial action immediately.
The association began an indefinite strike on Sunday, 28 September, over the sack of more than 800 staff of Dangote Refinery who voluntarily joined the union, seeking improved welfare and better conditions of service. The strike grounded activities in the oil and gas sector and also rubbed off on the national grid as power generation fell from over 4,000 megawatts to about 3,200 megawatts. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
So there you have it. So they are saying that they will resume the strike without notice if the 800 workers are not brought back. So that's what PENGASSAN is saying. But it's good to hear that, first of all, they have said that there's no more strike. But now what is scary to me is that them saying that they would resume the strike without notice if these 800 workers are not brought back.
I mean, if you're a president of PENGASSAN, you want to sound tough, isn't it?
Right.
Yes, and that's what he did. And the correct word to say about the staff is that they are going to sort of reassign them, maybe to other places, because the reason Dangote gave for sacking them is that they are complicit in sabotaging the operations of a refinery. And like our guest said here some days back, the refinery is not something you just plug on and plug off. It takes a process. PENGASSAN has given Nigerians a gift, an Independence Day gift, by calling off the strike. But let us look at what the strike did, even though it was just 2 days. We lost as much as 29.2 billion naira in revenue. Our electricity went down. If it had continued, it would have been a disaster. Yesterday, we saw some queues in filling stations and so on. Thank God that they suspended it and that they will start it without warning. we'll just wait
and for
see.
me, that is my fear. But it wasn't just yesterday. It was yesterday and day before yesterday as well. There were a lot of queues at the filling station. And, you know,
days,
we've spoken about it, that when things like this happens, you know, this is what we see, because we'll see panic buying. Everybody wants to fill their tank quickly because they don't know what will happen the next minute. But what really gets me with this is that for them to do something without notice is now quite scary, you know, because now they are saying that if these workers are not brought back. I remember we had a conversation with the guest where we're asking him that, you know, how does he think that these workers will even be brought back? He claims that, you know, they were not laid off and all of that. But this is what PENGASSAN is saying, that if these people are not brought back, you know, they will start the strike again.
First off, Dangote and these workers, they need to sit down and really discuss the real issues. I mean, let's leave this TV drama we're having here. Let's let them go back home and discuss the real issue. What is actually going on? Etima just mentioned that, you know, they were sabotaging the process and the effectiveness of the system. Is that really the case? Can they go back and discuss that? Because I've not been to the Dangote refinery, but I visited the cement factory in Benue State, Makodi to be precise, and I saw the process it takes to deliver one bag of cement from the start to finish. It takes a whole lot of process and a whole lot of hands to do that. But also, by the way, there are quite a number of machines that can do what some hands can also do. So if Dangote has come to the point where they said this happened to some of its staffs, there must have been a reason for that, because I don't think that is a same thinking managerial system of a company like that refinery would wake up one day and sack people who have been effective, productive, and helping the company achieve its goals, and you just
but also we heard that because we wanted to join the union. But let me
well, but then if they can go back and discuss the real issues, then would leave you know, all this drama we're having on air, because it really doesn't make any sense. Because at the end of the day, Nigerians are suffering. Etima just mentioned it. You know, it wasn't a day, sir. It was a week of not finding fuel. It took me hours, some nights ago, to go from here to Lekki, a whole lot to go find fuel.
Let me come to you, Ibrahim, on this one. You know, a lot of people have also accused PENGASSAN as well, that they are saying they're throwing stones, but they're living in glass houses as well, and they're throwing stones. And people have said that, you know, Dangote monopoly and all of that. But we're just saying that when does this finally come to an end? And then now we're hearing that, okay, the strike has been put on hold, but it will come back without notice.
Yeah, so it is okay, as Thomas said, that they will have to position themselves as though they are fighting the cause of the people. Whereas, you know, we get a lot of stories about what they do. Some of them don't even have a job. That's the reality, because they only talk about union. I don't understand how union would be so big that it would be difficult for even government to rein them in. Now you cut off the lifeline of the economy. You are saboteurs. Exactly what are you trying to do? Petrol went up, filling stations closed down, gas supply, you cut it off from Dangote, and then we are also now reeling the impact. You promised that 30 days, you have 30 days of supply, and that petrol will definitely flow like water for as long as your strike is going to last, let's say 30 days. But just the first day, we lost more than you know, several billions of naira. And then you are saying that you will resume it at the end of the day.
Without notice, which is the scary thing for me.
But one thing is that it is okay that Dangote is, you know, planning to reabsorb, you know, the relieved workers. It's okay. But it is his business at the end of the day. We see what he is doing. Where have they been, you know, for a long time? When the refineries are not working, what did they do? NNPC money is going down. Dangote has challenged them to now release their own audit of 2 years, and let's see. I mean,
so for me, my only problem is about the 800 workers, because I'm looking at their families. You know, so if they can bring them back, it makes a lot of sense.
It's good. But they lied. But they also lied to us that Dangote hired 2,0and workers as if they kept them.
There's no smoke without fire, right? There's no smoke without fire.
So there's a whole lot of things.
Yes, the 800 workers will be redeployed. Maybe not right in the refinery, at other places. Because look, once you are accused of being a saboteur, I have to deal with you with kids' glove. That's
but you know, the thing as well is that when we say, okay, we have to go now. This is definitely was going to be a very, very heated conversation, but we have to go now. But we are just hoping that the best happens, and we do not want to see any strike again. But now.